it's Amber Love, and today I am talking about Captain Swing and the Electrical Pirates of Cindery Island, issue number 1. And if you're wondering what in the hell is that, well, okay, here, take a peek, there you go. This is the new book by Warren Ellis through Avatar Press. And if you don't know who Warren Ellis is, then shame on you. He's a prolific British writer who lives in a pub and does nothing but crank out comics and novels for Avatar and Marvel. And okay, so he might not live in the pub, but I don't think he ever actually goes home and sleeps. But what he does do in his stories is he always features great, exciting technology and science, and he makes things very adventurous. So Captain Swing and the Electrical Pirates of Cindery Island. Okay, I'm just shortening that to Captain Swing. It is a steampunk chronicle set in fictional 1830s London, and the artwork by Raul Cesares, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, is really great. It's a great pairing. It's not as awesome as what I feel like Simone Bianchi's work is over at the Marvel side of things, but as far as Ellis's Avatar work, so far this has been my favorite artist on one of his books. Unfortunately, the coloring is only credited to a company. It's not credited to an individual, which is kind of a shame because that's pretty good too. It's, obviously got a lot of sepia tones, very dark because it takes place in dark alleyways. So I think overall, artistically, it's an appealing book. There are lots of intestines as usual. It's an Ellis book. So, certainly within the first couple pages, you're going to see blood and intestines. That's a given. Lots of cursing. Okay, but inside you will also find some fascinating pages within the panels. And I'll show you, I'll actually flip through here so you get an idea. Some of the panels are great. They have no background at all. And then you get really, really detailed backgrounds in the regular panels. And then you're flipping through, flip, and you get these great sepia panels here. These full pages are actually a letter from Captain Swing, and in it are these great illustrations with sort of like engineering plans about the technology he's aware of. It also serves as a narration to the whole story, so that's where you learn the differences between the law enforcement factions of this part of London. There are, of course, the British bobbies that you are probably familiar with. They have no guns, that they do have the batons or clubs, whatever you want to call it. They have very strict dress codes, and that's actually all explained. The point of their uniforms, everything serves a purpose, which is kind of interesting. And then there are the Bow Street Runners, who are sort of their rivals in law enforcement, if you will. It's, I guess if you take, sheriffs versus, state troopers, this is kind of the same sort of thing. So the Bow Street Runners answer to a magistrate. And they do have firepower. They only have, of course, what they know of. The guns like revolvers and flintlocks and things like that. And they're not aware of this other technology. But they have a better idea than the bobbies. And this is because there is a criminal in the neighborhood, Spring-Heeled Jack. Spring-Heeled Jack has managed to elude the authorities for some time. He manages to steal things. He's a thief. And he escapes. And they can't catch him. And finally, this first issue shows us that the bobbies get a glimpse of Spring-Heeled Jack. So now they know why he's managed to always escape. And it's because of these great gadgets he has. He can super jump, and he escapes in, of course, a flying boat. Of course, it's a steampunk story. And this is something that the Bow Street Runners have known. They've witnessed it before, and they know much more about Spring-Heeled Jack. So they want to keep it all a secret, and I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if there's going to be a team-up at this point. They're going to have a foe in common, so the two different factions of law enforcement are going to have to team up. I doubt it. But you never know where a story's going to go. And that's the fun thing about, something like this. And, text message. And, you get a really good look at some of the things like the clock gear bullets that Spring-Heeled Jack uses. So there's, great art. A lot of imagination goes into a story like this, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's the first issue of a 4-parter, so if you're waiting for the collection, you hopefully won't have to wait all that long. They don't come out quite as quickly as things like Marvel and DC trades, but, you can definitely keep your eye out. And Read it through once, enjoy it, and then when you read through a second time, throw on some Abney Park and get into the groove. Strap on your goggles, of course, and, tell all your friends. So as I said, there is, a lot of cursing, a lot of intestines and violence, and things that you won't find in something like Girl Genius. So if you're a fan of the genre, but you wanted something more adult themed, then Captain Swing is probably the perfect book for you. Now, in the past, I have enjoyed Warren Ellis books, the first issues, and then they sort of lose their steam, if you will. So I have really high hopes for this. Again, I don't want to be let down, but it seems to be a really, really exciting first issue, and it's go buy it. Highly recommend it. Please subscribe before you log out. Leave your feedback below. And if you're not following my Twitter feed, then you might not know about my new website. It's called amberunmasked.com. So go on over there and check that out as well. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.